Well, hello everybody. Hope you're doing good. It is another beautiful day here in Middle Georgia. It is hot. We got about 2 inches of rain last night, some thunderstorms, and humidity is 100% today, and the temperature's high 80s, low 90s, somewhere in there. So it's a little warm, but got a couple of things I got to do today. One of my vehicles needs a new tire, and I think I mentioned a while back that I had bought a tire machine at a auction down in South Georgia, and I hadn't really had time to go through it, so I thought I'd go through it and kind of show you what I'm checking out and trying to get it in service. So let me show you what we're doing. Okay, so unless you knew what to look for, this would be the only thing to tell you that this was actually a Hunter tire machine. You can see it was government property at one time. I bought it at a government auction. But so this is a Hunter tire machine. Again, I'm not 100% sure what year. Let's see if it says. Yeah, I don't see anywhere on, oh, wait a minute, manufactured 2010. So it's 24 years old. A lot of the dust you're seeing is from sitting right over here for the last couple of months next to the tire balancer, which has become a storage rack, unfortunately. But once we get this up and running, that will no longer be a storage rack. So this is a manual tire balancer, or excuse me, a manual tire mounting machine. Down here, you've got a pedal that operates the rotating table, pedal that operates the bead breaker right there. I'm sorry, this one's the rotation. That breaks the beads. This one activates the jaws that go in and out. And as you can see, I've sprayed the all the moving parts with a lubricant just to make sure that they're as free as possible. This piece, the arm that goes up and down, was actually seized up in here, so I had to take the nut off up here, take the spring off, pull the arm out and clean it, and then reassemble it. And now it goes down. It'll lock in place on the tire and allow you to help break the bead off of it. So that's a good thing. It goes back up like it's supposed to, and this arm pivots out of the way for when you don't need it. Now down here, we've got the bead brake, so it's got some pressure on it. So you'll pull this out, put your tire in there, hit the lever right here. It'll slide in, break the bead on the tire, and then you can release it out and go about your business. Put it up on the rotation table and finish breaking the tire down. When you mash the pedal down here, these jaws will either slide in or out, depending on how you have them orientated and what size rim you're doing. And then over here, you've got the incoming airline and the filter system for the machine. You've got a pressure gauge here. I'm not 100% sure it works. This is a manual bleed valve. If you put too much air in it, you can hit this button and bleed it off. As you can see, it doesn't have a fitting on it yet, so I'll have to fix that. I have to put a fitting in the airline down here. But the first thing I've got to do is replace some of these lines. Some of them look okay, but some of them are broken. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Okay, so these airlines are just a I think polyethylene is what they call it, or polyurethane. I can't remember. It's one of the poly blends, but it's a plastic flexible line. There's a compression fitting up here, and then there's another compression fitting right down here that holds these in. And so to change them, you take a screwdriver, push on that collar, you see it going up inside the holder, and then you can pull, push up on the collar, it recesses, and then you can pull the hose out. We'll do the same thing down there. Cut a new piece of hose and then slip it in. All right, so now I've got my new piece of hose. I'm lining it up with the fitting down there. Let's see if I can get you. And then I just push it in. You see it kind of went in. Now it's sealed in, it won't come out. We'll run it, let's see, through the holder right there. And then we'll bring it out here, and same thing. It slides up, now it's locked in. Okay, so I've got this one line fixed. I've got a couple of more that are questionable. I don't have to replace this line. What this line's for is if you're inflating the tire and you've got a little bit of gap there, you can mash the pedal down a second, harder to a second stage, and it blows air through some nozzles up here. Let me turn you around. So you mash the pedal down to the second stage and it blows air through these nozzles here that blows against the rim and where the tire come together. And so you're forcing air into the bottom of the tire, which you're also putting air inside the tire from the hose up here, and it will seat most tires that way. So it's just an aid in trying to seat the bead on the tire. So like I said, I don't necessarily have to have those hoses, but it's a good thing to have them when you deal with a bunch of different size tires. Sometimes they don't fit right, and it works. So now that we've got those hoses replaced, we've oiled the carriage. While I had these out, I blew air through them to make sure there was no crud down in there. I think it was this one actually had a bunch of dirt dauber stuff built up in it. So now let's get fittings on this hose and that hose, and then we'll see how it works. Okay, y'all, sorry about the noise in the background, but I've got the air compressor building up. So you can see right down here, I've got the airline hooked up, and I've got a fitting on here. Now this is not the fitting I'm gonna leave on here. It's just one I had. With it being a weekend, the parts place isn't open. But I would like to get one that has a lock on it that you can put on the tire, the valve stem. I'd like to get one you could lock onto the valve stem and let go of it so your hand's not in the way when you're trying to inflate. So, let's see. We'll start with the tabletop up here. Let's see if it rotates. That would be this pedal here. All right, so the table rotates. The pedal is sticking just a little. I need to probably oil it a little more. Let's see if the jaws work. That's not good. Okay, the jaws are not working. All right. Okay, that pedal was locked down, the one for the brake. So let's see if the jaws will work now. Nope, they're still not working. It sounds like something inside has blown loose. You can see now this moves freely, and when we hit the pedal, you can see that piston in there moves, so that works good. I have to take this cover off and look inside to see what's going on there. And then the last one we've got is for the air pressure here up at the gauge. And it's not going to do anything unless I got it hooked to a valve, but you've definitely got air pressure there. So let's take this cover off and see what's going on down there. So after getting down in here and looking, the pedal assemblies which are right there, this one controls the jaws, and it was jammed a little. You can also hear just a little bit of an air leak. I don't know if y'all can hear it on camera, so I'll have to go through and try to figure out where that's coming from. But now they work, and the piston, when you release the pedal, it comes back out. So okay, that's coming out of right there. I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe a piece of trash. I'll have to look into that. Okay, so a couple of things. This valve here, I don't know, I'm not real sure how it works, but we took it off and there was some debris in there, so we cleaned it out. It doesn't appear to be leaking now. And we had a small air leak down here. We tightened that up and that stopped, so I think we're good to go. Okay, so that didn't go too bad. Cleaned up pretty good. Everything's operating the way it should, so I'm excited about that. Most of these hoses, I mean, that one, I don't know if you can tell, but that one still actually has a sheen to it. I don't think this one was replaced that long ago, as opposed to this was one of them that was broke. And it's just worn out. I mean, it's brittle. I can bend it and break it again, whereas this one, you know, I can just about crimp it in half and it's still good. But I had to buy, I think it's 20 or 25 feet of the new hose just to replace that one. And a little bit of preventative maintenance goes a long way. So it didn't take, I think I had 15 minutes to a half hour in replacing all the hoses. So, you know, if I'm going to replace them, get new hoses on it, and it saves me an hour or 2 hours down the road, it's definitely worth it. So, got this in working order. The balancer is already in working order. So now I'm ready, almost ready. There's a couple of things I need. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to get them until Tuesday or Wednesday, but I need a couple of tire spoons to use on the machine up here. The tire spoons go over this duck bill right here, and you wedge them into the tire, flip them over that bill, and it pulls the tire over this, and as the tire rotates, it takes the tire off the rim. I do not have those spoons. I do have some for doing manual tire changes, but I don't have the spoons for this, so I've got to get some spoons for that. I would like to get plastic covers to go on the jaws. Most of my vehicles have steel alloy rims. They're not aluminum or chrome or something like that. But my classic cars do have chrome rims, and if I change them, I want to protect them. So gonna try to get the plastic covers to go on here. And then there's usually a soap bucket that mounts somewhere on this side with a little brush. You put soapy water in it or soap grease for helping put the tire on a little better. So a couple of things still to get before I can actually mount a tire, but I'm excited. This is One more thing that we've got at the shop that will help us maintain the stuff here at the property, but also help me do stuff in the future. So appreciate y'all coming along. I know it wasn't a exciting video, but it's something I've been waiting and needing to do, and I've got just a little bit of time before I have to go cook supper, and wanted to make sure that I could get this done because I do have to do one of the tires on my vehicle later this week. So rather do it here than pay somebody else to do it. God bless y'all. Hope you're having a great day. I know it's another great day here in paradise. Take care.